Hello, my name's Eric. Welcome to my garage. I'm making a video about the ENTP personality type. I've watched several on YouTube and I haven't felt that any of them adequately, to my needs or interests, addressed the issue. The reason I'm talking about it is I'm an ENTP personality type myself and feel as though it's a difficult personality to be, and I wanted to talk a little bit about what it means to be an ENTP personality type, how you can identify one if you don't know what one is, but also, more importantly, mostly if you are an ENTP and you find life difficult, this is intended to help understand why those things happen to a certain extent. Alright, so in regards to the cognitive functions, which is a good way to understand this, we begin with extroverted intuition, which is referred to as the exploration function. So the ENTP is first and foremost interested in exploring, and that's certainly consistent with my own experience. I like to explore abstractly at least as much as I like to explore physically, though. So that means for me, I'm mostly interested in the ideas that a given set of circumstances or facts suggests. Another way of thinking about the extroverted intuition is that it is very future-oriented, which is to say that my natural way to interpret data that's coming in is within a given abstract framework, and then to project out that from that data into the future possible vectors that one might pursue to achieve given manifestations of reality in the future that one can perceive. Now, one quality of the ENTP is what you're witnessing from me right now, which is we tend to talk a lot, we tend to talk quickly, and we tend to express a lot of idea talk rather than, say, relationship talk or bond over shared emotional experience talk. So, okay, the second function that we're talking about, the second cognitive function is introverted thinking, which is nicknamed the accuracy function. So, whereas we lead with exploration, and we lead with exploration in an abstract sense, not in a sensory sense, not in a physical world sense, and then we have accuracy. So we end up being the personality type that's very interested in abstract models, in building models to explain why things occur, and seeing those models be consistently represented in the world. So, I mean, I think it would probably be, I don't know if any study's been done on this, but I would hypothesize that if a study were to be done, that the personality type that's most interested in Myers-Briggs is probably ENTP. And the reason is because it resonates very true to the ENTP. First of all, I don't know about other ENTPs, but I'm about as textbook as they come, and every time I read anything about it, I'm like, yep, that's me, right on the money. I'm particularly, at this point in my life, I used to be excited by the crazy aspects of the personality type when you read stuff about it, like, wow, you're so smart. Well, I'm more interested now in the challenging parts of it because I'm old enough where I realize just how hard a life I had up until, fairly recently when things started to kind of come together for me. But it's still very difficult. Achievement doesn't solve all problems, though we NTPs are likely to think it does. The third function that we're talking about is extroverted feeling, which is harmony. We are generally kind of people pleasery a little bit. I am, but we're also known to be the fightiest of all personality types, the most argumentative, the most inclined to start a battle over something insignificant and not even really care about it the whole time. But that's because the exploration function, I would say, well, there are these things that I read about on one website that talk about shadow functions, and there's a tendency to leap before I look, for sure, and I suspect it's true of all ENTPs. And our enthusiasm carries us headlong into ideas and circumstances sometimes that we can't figure our way out of, or that we almost always do figure our way out of. But that we go, I wish I had been a little less impulsive there, right? One of the qualities that we carry into the world with us is a great deal of faith in our ability to figure it out on the fly, whatever it is, because we function best, I think, in that context. My profession is a debate coach, which is the perfect profession for an ENTP. But I can tell you from my work that certain students, certain individuals, certain personality types speak while they think and think while they speak and are able to come up with stuff on the fly without having anything prepared, without anything written down, as I'm doing right now. Other personality types are very preparation oriented. ENTP is not preparation oriented. We will figure it out as we go. We are not read the instruction book kind of people. All right, so, but the harmony thing, unfortunately, that quality causes a lot of disharmony. And we tend to be fairly pushy because we tend to be certain that we're right a lot of the time. And I've known from my experience, my certainty with my rightness does not necessarily correlate that strongly with my actual rightness once we look back from a sufficient distance to to adjudicate the issue of correctness on the point in question. So that's a problem. Causes disharmony. There's sort of a internal conflict there in the personality. One part wants to fight, one part wants everyone to like them. You know, I want everybody to like me, just like anybody else. A lot of people do not like me. Let me tell you that in no uncertain terms. And I have made a point of saying to myself, and I'll make a point of saying to you, if you experience this problem, a healthy ENTP is empowered enough to anger some people, but an unhealthy ENTP is insecure enough to anger a lot of people, and for no reason other than to just sort of middle finger them, you know? It's a really tough line to walk in terms of knowing where you are on that spectrum. You know, why are you starting shit again? It's probably a question that you're going to have at some point, right? You can ask yourself that if you're an ENTP. Why am I starting shit again? Why am I starting shit with these people? Why am I busting their chops? Why am I trying to show off how smart I am and make them look bad, right? These are sort of the things that we wrestle with as ENTPs because you know why. If you are one, you know why. It's because right? You can, and sometimes people try to roll up on you, and it's like, hell no. That quality right there I just demonstrated is also a very ENTP-esque quality. We're very competitive. We tend not to like each other very much because we're competitive with each other. And we're used to being the big cat in the forest in the sense that they require a large amount of territory and they can't have other big cats around. They need their space or whatever. I mean, not for the same reason. It's a bad analogy, but you know, that one vector is the same. So, I don't know. We're a small amount of the population. They say 3 to 4%. I'd say lower. Our last cognitive function, and I'm going to finish this thing up in 10 minutes or less, I promise. Last cognitive function is going to be introverted what? Introverted what now? I got to look on the internet. Introverted sensing. Okay. So that's recalling of past events, confirming, I guess, or referencing the past. So this is my weakest function, and it's absolutely correct to say it's my weakest function. My memory is very bad. My referencing the past seems irrelevant usually. I do not look to the past for indications of what's likely to happen. I look instead at the relational weights of things and evaluate in this contextual model, in this context, in this model, we plug in this, we project out to here. What's the likely possible outcomes? Can you anticipate everything? No, you can't. You can't project out everything. And this is why debate is a good job for an ENTP because it's endlessly, Korean barbecue. Delicious. It was very good. A place thumbs up for me. I've gone there 3 times in the last, I don't know, month or something. I don't usually go to the same restaurant over and over again. That place is really good. Another ENTP quality, a little bit prone to tangents, a little bit prone to getting off on sidetracks and not finishing projects. So, if you are, I'm not going to get this done under 10 minutes. God damn it. I'm not going to cut it either. We're going to go to 15. Sorry. If you're bored already, you've already stopped watching. So you don't need my apology. If you're still watching, you're enjoying this apology a great deal, I'm sure. You're like, keep apologizing. That's what I'm here for. Listening to you apologize. Anywho, so then one thing I read on the internet, this place that talks about the shadow processes, which are like the opposing ones. Introverted intuition would be my oppositional one. And what's weird here is foreseeing implications, transformations, and likely effects. Well, that's really the same thing in my mind as what I'm doing with a combination of extroverted intuition and introverted thinking, is projecting outwards. And I know for a fact that the ENTP is the most future-focused of all personality types. So I'm not thrilled with that description of that. And I'm not quite sure if there's a better one out there or if this is something unique to this person. It could be some random. I mean, I'm not one to give much weight to expertise regardless. Being a random person doesn't mean anything to me whether or not it's meaningful. I'm a random person, and I'm much more right than lots of experts on lots of things. That's an ENTP problem too, right? We are notoriously arrogant, full of ourselves, conceited. I've been called in an email before. I got an email that said, "You are such an arrogant prick." And the thing is, it made me feel very bad because it was true. And I had nothing you can do about it. You just be like, God damn it, why do I have to be like this? It's frustrating. It's not fun. Other personality types who scold me all the time. Okay, then there's this extrovert thinking is the critical parent. I don't have much of that. I mean, I have it. It's critical, but it's I'm way super disorganized. So, like this, the critical parent is a part of me that just basically shames myself for being disorganized and being messy and being all over the place. We are, additionally, the most likely type to get diagnosed as ADD, like me. Deceiving is the third one. Deceiving. Introverted feeling, valuing and considering importance, beliefs, and worth. So for me, if I'm functioning on my internal feelings rather than my thoughts, if I'm functioning on my feelings rather than my reasons, then there's something deceptive about that. I'm deceiving myself, right? I'm allowing my feelings to convince me of something that I shouldn't be convinced of because my thoughts tell me otherwise. I know this experience. I know this. I feel it to my bones. It's so true. My feelings deceive me all the time. My thoughts rarely do. And then lastly, experience and acting in the immediate context. This is called the devilish process. Right on the money. I need to stop, think, step back, don't act, and then act later, a little bit later. I'm way too impulsive. I make some bad decisions. I send some ill-advised emails. The thing is, if one were to be interpreting this in a religious fashion, one would say that God gave the ENTP immense adaptability and very powerful intellectual weapons, cognitive weapons, because he put a drunk guy in charge of leading him places. So it's like here I am, smart and capable, wise, able to see the future possibilities of everything. But I might impulsively fire off an email calling, respected colleagues a bunch of names and stuff like that, right? Who knows? Who knows? That's my emotions deceiving me. And then my extroverted sensing devilishness deviling me. So, We're going to 20 minutes now. This last 5 minutes I'm going to spend talking to the ENTPs and to the non-ENTPs who have to live with them. I know, we're a pain in the ass. I'm a pain in the ass. I get that. Please have mercy on us. Please. We are vulnerable people. It's unavoidable because, I mean, we stir the pot a lot, you know, and that causes a lot of splatter of grease and stuff all over us, and we get burned all the time, and we're stupid. We just, like, you know, when an ENTP says something really rude to you, or really coarse, or crass, or stupid, or ill-advised, just remember that little voice that goes, "Don't say that," to you. It says it to us too. Like 5 minutes after we said it. What the fuck did you say that for? You know, that's what you end up thinking. Who knows why? It's frustrating, right? Well, listen, my fellow ENTPs, let me fill you in on something. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you. You know that thing that you're convinced you're right about and everybody else is wrong about it? Everybody keeps giving you shit about it, whatever it is? I got some news for you. You are right. They are wrong. You are way smarter than they are. It's frustrating, isn't it? And if you've got a boss, if you've got a regular job, if you're a wage slave, and you are suffering that torture, my heart goes out to you. You've got to find something more interesting to do. I mean, I know you're trapped in something, in some sort of life situation. You impulsively got some chick pregnant or something. I'm amazed that never happened to me, but it's lucky. I mean, I wasn't very good with chicks either. That helped. You know, you go with chicks, you're more likely to get pregnant. So anyway, that's the ENTP personality type, okay? It's one half crybaby, one half retarded person, one half, we're going well over 100% here, okay? Trust me. Let me start over. One half crybaby, one half retarded person, one half deadly warrior, one half genius, and 30% Alzheimer's patient. There you go. It pretty much sums it up. My memory? Shut the shit. I don't know. I don't remember anything. People talk about their memories from like high school and start telling me some story. Like, how the hell do you even remember back then? You know, I was a debater in high school, right? I'm a debate coach now. You know how many of my debate rounds I remember from high school? Like 0. I remember one part of one round. That's it. I was a policy debater. I can't remember anything about any of the other rounds at all. That's the past. I'm worried about the future. And what I'm going to do in the future right now, one of my many, many passions, because they say we ENTPs are unable to focus on anything for more than about 5 minutes, which is true. I mean, unless we're into it, then you can focus on it for ever until it gets boring. They say we don't sleep regularly. We sleep in whenever we get tired and then sleep until we are not tired anymore. We don't eat regularly. We eat when we're hungry because we got other shit to do. And we don't like rules. I don't like rules. So, sorry for on behalf of all of us. But despite the fact that we're a pain in the ass, despite the fact that you probably don't like us, or you think we're arrogant or whatever, if we're telling you something's a really good idea, trust us. We're right. We're the smartest people in the room, probably. Almost certainly. Okay? Have a good one.